back with another video. I don't know what to say. This is probably the most terrible intro. But let's talk about one thing that's pretty obvious. This is a Snarled video. I haven't reacted to one in a while. And also, let's go forward in this video. Who is that? Did they change the... Okay. I haven't watched the videos in a minute. And things have already changed. This is a whole black woman. Okay. Well, I guess this is the new... I guess this is the new, what do you call it, host of this channel? I guess. But hey, it might be better than the last one. I don't know if the other person's sick, doesn't want to record this channel no more, or just this person just took it over now. I'm not sure. She probably got another job. But we're just still going to react. It's called the Gator Man of Elmendorf. And guys, you see there's no thumbnail anymore? Yes, I'm using OBS now. You know why? Got a new PC, boys. Well,
Hey, I'm Markia. Want to hear something scary?
Okay. No more Sapphire? Okay.
The Gator Man of Elmendorf.
There's no more Sapphire.
Everyone knows to stay clear of alligators. This was the warning issued by police in Elmendorf, Texas. A string of missing persons led right to the bellies of local gators, all under one man's roof. This next story, inspired by a submission from Brittany, shows the terrifyingly true legend of Joe Ball.
Okay.
They called him the Gator Man,
The Gator
in
Man.
hushed tones and darting glances when they dared to mention him.
On you,
The town was Elmendorf, Texas, a rural and humid place, and everyone had a story to tell about its dark history, including me. At the end of my investigation on the area's missing women, there still wasn't a break in the case.
She's a detective.
It can be tough to be taken seriously as a detective if you're not a man. The bartender of the sociable inn poured me another drink as he leaned on his crutch. Don't mind them for being so cagey. The Gator Man makes everyone nervous. He dropped the bottle and one of the waitresses came over to help.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. Isn't that the same mustache as the previous? He's the Gator Man. Well, there you go. We already know who the Gator Man is. I bet his leg. What's wrong with him? His leg broken? How can your leg broken? What you been doing? Some backflips? What you serve drinks for? Okay, let me stop roasting my man. Okay, you know what?
Gator Man makes everyone nervous.
You're the Gator Man.
He dropped the bottle and one of the waitresses came over to help. He apologized and offered me a drink on the house. Noticing that his bandages had bled through a bit, the bartender told me that he'd gotten into a scuffle with a rowdy patron the night before and ended up with a broken bottle to the ankle. Intrigued, I asked if the violent guest was a regular. The bartender shook his head no and patted the gun on his hip, indicating he was ready if they came back. The waitress jumped in. I was so afraid.
Now, he went to the lake and that gator bit him. He went, he said, that's some good waiter meat right there. They ain't nobody would have bat. How? Like, your leg is bleeding and everything. That must have happened pretty recently. No, this man just got his leg bit off. Nah.
She said. The bartender had the reputation of a local hero. The parents of one of the youngest victims had suggested I go talk to him. When they needed help, the bartender had led the search for their daughter, and with a group of townsfolk, found the remains of her bloody dress near a gator pit. He had also stepped in to pay for the funeral costs, even though it was an empty casket. Joe Ball is a good man, they all said.
Sure.
Later on, when the bar cleared out, the waitress slipped a note to me as I left. It read, "Go round back." I made my way along a hidden path and found an old wooden barn house. Stepping inside, I lit the lone light to dimly illuminate the darkness and covered my face. The light flickered and revealed the backwoods evil surrounding me that smelled of rot and the acrid must of swamp water. There was a man tied to a drain pipe. Muffled screaming came from his throat. Taking the gag off, he pleaded, "He has my sister." "Who?" I asked, ripping the rope off his hands. "Joe. It's Joe," he stammered, and I noticed the dried blood on his clothes. He must be the patron who tangled with Joe the previous night. The man explained that his sister had run off with Joe a few days earlier, and when he heard the description of the Gator Man's victims, he knew she was in trouble. He went to the bar to look for his sister when Joe took him out back and tied him up, ready to feed him to the gators.
Oh,
Suddenly,
so he's about to be gator meat.
They heard the squeak of the old door. Joe had entered the bar with the waitress at his side.
Got that Glock.
He had a gun to her head, keeping her captive. Show them, he told her as she tossed a frozen limb into the pit. 2 gators jumped up to fight for the arm, quickly shredding it to pieces. They were hungry. Don't hurt her, I said, realizing Joe Ball had charmed and misled the whole town. Stepping into the light, we saw him for who he truly was. Joe Ball, the Gator Man. She's mine and your dinner, he said, menacingly nudging us forward. As we got closer to the pit's edge, the waitress pulled a glass shard from her dress and dropped quickly, knocking Joe over. She slashed the back of his knees, which sent the gun flying, and Joe fell forward. Grabbing the gun, I pointed it at Joe, letting him know he was under arrest. Joe sneered, "You'll never take me alive." He let himself fall into the gator pit, each one of his pets ripping into his body, and he laughed as he choked on his own blood. Before leaving with her brother, the waitress thanked me, even though it was her courage that saved us all. Sometimes all it takes is even the littlest spark of light to fight the monsters in the dark.
Well, he's gator meat. That was a pretty short one, short and sweet. To get back into, if you guys want me to watch more Snarl, I can. With this new black lady hosting it now, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna see what happened, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more videos, make sure you like and subscribe, because if you don't, there will be no videos. I'm on winter break now, so might be more videos. I don't know if I feel like it. Okay, so